got a new lamp and it's a snail and I love it. Irrelevant. I wanted to show you something interesting that I noticed. This is my desk setup. Ignore all of the lights and stuff, I was just filming. And I'm here, I use the Logitech MX Master 4. And then I look over, and this is Zach's setup over here. This is his Logitech MX Master 3S. And then I look over just across the courtyard. And I come into Josh's office here. What do I find? This is Josh's MX Master 3S, and I believe he uses the 2 or 2S or something like that at his home desk setup. And then we follow across the courtyard once more. Where's Christoph? He's probably pooping, that's fine, I just have to film his desk. And then this is Christoph's, wow, it's dark here. This is his MX Master 4. And I would snoop into one more office here, but it's locked and they've got their curtains down, so I can't tell you what mice they're using in this container. Update, Zach was in. Look at this. MX Master 3S?
3S.
3S. If you know anybody who works in a creative field, graphic design, photography, anything like that, then I'm sure you've seen them using one of these. Not just a mouse, but specifically the MX Master series of mice from Logitech. Recently, Logitech reached out and asked if they could sponsor a video on the channel where I showcase how I'm already using their MX Creative Console, the MX Mechanical Keyboard, as well as the MX Master 4 mouse in my workflows, which I thought, great, I already use them, I already love them, let's talk about it. This is the gold standard go-to mouse for all sorts of people in all sorts of creative fields. So if you're curious why everyone and their grandma is using this mouse at their desk setups, well, that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. Spoiler alert, it's a great mouse. There you go. Joshy, what are you working on here?
Oh, this is good. I can plug my YouTube video on your YouTube video. I'm actually working on a YouTube video basically comparing shots that I've taken on my Mavic 4 Pro to Mayor of Kingstown shots taken on probably an Alexa something. Are you still rolling on that? Is that my 20? It is my 20.
All right, walk me through. What's your desk setup look like here?
M1 Max, MacBook Pro, 16-inch, some kind of an old Dell monitor, my CalDigit that runs all the peripherals, and then I have the wireless Logitech Master keyboard, I think it is, and mouse.
How many years have you been using the MX Master?
Man, I don't even know, like 6 years probably. Honestly, just for the ergonomics. I love the way that feels in my hand. Like if you're sitting at a desk all day, it's just nice to have something. I actually bought this setup for my stepdad, who is now a retired CPA. The amount of time he spends in front of a computer, I was like, oh, this would be like a great birthday present for him too. So I've actually bought 3 sets of these at this point.
I'm gonna run over and talk to other Zach Murray, because I know he has his MX Master 3S set up with a bunch of hotkeys in Resolve, so.
Zach is like dialed when it comes to shortcuts and keys and that.
Knock, knock. Who are you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm Zach. I do a lot of music videos and narrative and things like that. Oh, film. I work in film.
Sweet. And this is your wild desk setup?
Yes. I edit in DaVinci Resolve for everything that I do, as you can tell by the DaVinci Resolve editing keyboard. MX Master 3S mouse. I love this thing. It has saved me probably days of my life worth of editing with creating nodes and all of those things in the color page as well as in the edit page.
Can you show me some of that really quick?
Yeah, so the way that I use this is in DaVinci Resolve, you have your whole node tree of things going on. There's different keys you can set up for whatever shortcuts, and they're specific to programs. So I have it mapped to DaVinci Resolve for this particular one. This one, I press that and it brings up all the windows and they close off or whatever I need. That'll bypass color on everything that's going on or bring it back in again, as you can see on the screen. I'll zoom out. Now, the really cool thing that I absolutely love about this mouse is it's more than just individual buttons that you can press on it. So rather than doing it through key commands or right-clicking and going on add node for serial or parallel or whatever you're doing, I have that button. So you can press on the button and move the mouse in like left, right, up, down. And depending on which direction you move it in when you're holding that button, it'll do whatever action it is. And I have that set to nodes. So if I hold it and press right, it brings up serial node after the other one. If I hold it and press left, it brings up a serial node before the one I was doing. Hold it and press up, or hold it and press down, and it's creating parallel or layer nodes depending on what I need to work in. It just helps me build, like I can build an entire node tree really, really quick. It's just a really, really fast way of working. I love it. I've been using this mouse, I think probably about three or 4 years now. Before this, I had an Apple mouse, and the Apple mouse was fine. It was an ergonomic nightmare, and like the touch functions on it were unreliable at best. And then I switched over to this, and I've convinced probably 5 other friends at minimum to switch over to these since, just being like, hey, try this out. And there's 5 sales, Logitech.
A lot of people may or may not know this already, or they might. I've been editing in Final Cut Pro 10 now for just shy of 15 years. And what I love about this software is that it's very efficient, and then it runs on not terribly powerful computers. And so for the majority of that 15 years, I've done a lot of my editing on base model MacBooks and MacBook Pros. Now, because of this, I've gotten really comfortable and used to editing with one of these. This is a trackpad, and then this is just the standard Apple keyboard. I used to take my trackpad and put it on top of the keyboard at the bottom so I could edit and still kind of simulate laptop editing, even when I was at a desktop. And for a long time, like, I had no problems with this. It just seemed like, I don't know what I could have been missing out on. But about a year ago, I switched over from that keyboard trackpad setup to a full Logitech MX setup. And I've got to say, I was wrong. This is a way better editing setup than the keyboard and trackpad. So this here is the MX Master 4, and it has been the go-to creative mouse for a lot of years now. I had the 3S before this. I believe Josh is using a 3S currently. Zach and Josh both have MX Master 2s at their home desk setups. So Logitech has been in this game for a minute and just refining and improving what was already the best mouse into what is even better than the best mouse.
Simply the best!
Around! This year for the MX Master 4, we have a couple of changes. So the materials are much nicer, the clicks are softer and quieter. Apparently it's not gonna be prone to like finger oil stains or something like that. We also have some ergonomic changes that make the sideways scroll wheel easier to get to. But the biggest update this year is the inclusions of their actions ring button that has haptic feedback in the thumb rest here. In the past, as part of their creative console, they had this here. This is the dial. And by default, this bottom right button would pop open their actions ring. And that action ring would give you like 7 or 8 different customizable buttons that you could set to a whole bunch of different features based on the app that you're in at the time. So maybe if you're in Photoshop, you could pop that open and you could have exposure, white balance, tint, all set to different buttons. This year, however, we've packed most of that functionality right in here with the MX Master 4.
Whenever you're ready. Oh, sorry.
Who are you and what do you do?
I love my Logi stuff.
I hate you.
I actually do really love this mouse, though. This is MX Master 4. And I love this keyboard. I had a Magic Mouse and I had an Apple keyboard. I was just finding, especially when I was doing long days, that my hand would get fatigued from like hovering over the Magic Mouse. I like shooting. I don't like editing. And so things that make the editing process faster for me, I always gravitate towards those. So I could talk about this mouse all day. But the things that I like about it are it's very comfortable. The dual scroll wheel is really nice because when I'm editing on my timeline, I can move, back and forth along the timeline, and then I can also like zoom in and out, which I'm doing when I'm masking stuff all the time. I'm always zooming out so I can make a big mask around something and then zooming back in. And then the haptic thing, which is just fun to press, so it makes you want to use it all the time. So yeah, the haptic button I have assigned for color correction stuff, just so I can quickly make adjustments on the fly. Like this one is a very warm shot for some reason, and I can just hover over this and cool things down. I also assigned these buttons here to like the blade tool and the arrow tool. This is probably all irrelevant if you're a Final Cut editor, because I feel like you just think things in Final Cut and it happens. But this is the next best thing in Premiere. I mean, honestly, if just the comfort of it alone was everything, it would be enough to sell me on it, because I love it for that. Ooh, what's this button do?
Hello, hi, welcome back to the office. Now I'll talk a bit. This is the MX Master 4, and then as I mentioned, I have the Logi MX mechanical keyboard. I love the clickety-clack sound when I'm typing. Makes me feel like cool and important. And then I also have the creative console here. So we've got the dial and the touchpad that has a bunch of other customizations set up. Starting off at the Mac OS level, I'm going to show you my actions ring. So I could either hit that here on the dial or now on the mouse, which is my preferred method. When I click this, it's going to bring up a shortcut of all of my most used apps, as well as my YouTube Studio homepage and YouTube itself. This is just a really fast way to navigate between the apps that you're using on the daily. I also have some really helpful hotkeys. So I have one that opens up the Logi Options app if I want to change some of my customizations. I can also open a Finder window. I can open a screen recording, which I do all of the time. But actually, my favorite setup here is I have an AirDrop button. An AirDrop window shows up. There's Zach at the other computer, and I can just take any of these files and send it over to him. And we're constantly airdropping files back and forth, so this is just a nice little quality of life improvement. But honestly, I don't think many people are gonna buy this full Creative Console kit in order to navigate Finder and Mac OS. What this is really made for is taking your editing workflows, be that Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere, whatever, and making those faster and more efficient. So I'm gonna show you how I use this in Final Cut Pro. In my previous video, I showed you how we had customized the touchpad in order to get a bunch of different hotkeys set up in Final Cut. However, since that video, Logitech actually launched their own custom keyboard. So that's what I have set up. And this is great because a lot of the functions that I previously had set up on the touchpad, I can now do straight from the mouse. And then I can utilize all of those built-in tools like trim start, trim end, roll, all those kinds of little things from the touchpad. One thing a lot of people mention is the dual scroll wheel functionality helps navigate the timeline really quickly. So I can go horizontally, I can go vertically and check out my sound design. However, previously, if I wanted to adjust the size of the clips on my timeline or how big the waveforms were, I would have to go over into here, click this little thing, and then I could adjust this. Now here with the touchpad, I can hit adjust clip height, and when I scroll on this, it's gonna change how much I can see in my timeline, which is really helpful depending on what type of editing you're trying to do. And I can also hit adjust audio clip height, which is essentially gonna take me from a fully squashed timeline to all video, to video and a little bit of audio, bigger and bigger and bigger, until it's all audio, no video. However, now that the MX4 has the actions ring, I want to show you a lot of the tools that I have set up here to make my most used editing functions that much faster. So let's go to some of these raw clips from a recent shoot I was on in Maui. And if I pull up my actions ring, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of features that I use all the time. So I can toggle on all of the color correction here. I can add a color wheels, add a hue saturation node, which are the two main things I use. However, my starting place is always this. It's called Add Default Video Effect, essentially a one-click grade for my FX3. So when I click this here, it's gonna add a layer of film convert nitrate with my default corrections attached and the FX3 profile, as well as Sam Newton's tonal eclipse LUT at about 60% on top of it. And I find this gets me very close in most scenarios to how I'm gonna like the footage. Now, if I needed to, I could of course add a little hue saturation node, and from that we can just kind of like, maybe we don't want any of the blues in this shot and we'll just click it and pull it out. I've also added my most used audio effect, which is called muffle, and I use this all the time. So usually if I'm talking and there's music in the background, not only am I dipping that audio beneath me to be quieter so you can hear me talking, but I'll usually add an effect called muffle, which is essentially just rolling off some of the crispy high end so that it's not competing with like the sibilance of my voice, and you're just kind of getting like the thump of the beat, kind of like helping pull things along. So if I wanted, I can just click here. This is my add default effect, and then you would see it. It's now right in here, muffled. And I can turn that up, turn it down, however I want. I've also added some audio options here so I can obviously muffle it, but then if I want, I can either detach the audio, I can minus infinity the audio, or I can just zero it back out so that it's normal as it came in. What's cool is that these aren't like new ways of editing necessarily, it's just shaving a couple of seconds for each tool I need to get to. So by default, this is set up with a whole bunch of different color correction tools, which would work great. However, I don't really use the built-in color correction tools of Final Cut that much anymore. I've been using Film Convert Nitrate for a little while. So, if you use Final Cut color board, color wheels, you might be interested in seeing all the options they have with the actions ring. Switching from the 3S to the 4 has been quite a nice quality of life improvement. I think the 3S is a fantastic mouse, but now having this actions ring with all the haptic feedback as I kind of slide around essentially gives me the power of the mouse and Creative Console right here with just the mouse, and I think that's fantastic. So if you find yourself somewhere like I did just a year ago, resistant to change, just sticking with your old trackpad or generic 2-button mouse, or God forgive the default Apple mouse with the lightning cable on the bottom that you can't use when you need to charge it, and so then you end up just going to take a break and then wasting your life on TikTok. Don't do that anymore. Get yourself a real mouse. Maybe this is the year that you start taking your creative ventures, your passions, a little bit more seriously. You get your desk set up a little bit more dialed in, and I think the mouse, the keyboard, the creative console, this is a fantastic place to start. Logitech, thank you for sponsoring this video, but also, more importantly, thank you for making cool productivity tools that I actually want to use. See you later.